So Donald Trump has announced a new policy on Monday. This is all coming from Politico, by the way, that prevents migrants from seeking asylum in the U.S. unless, of course, they've traveled through a different country and they've been denied asylum there. So basically, if you're in somewhere like El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, if you don't first seek asylum in a place like Mexico, you're going to be denied. Now, there are a couple more exceptions to this rule. The first one being if you can prove that you're a victim of human trafficking. And then the other one, if the country that you passed through is not partied with 3 different international asylum and refugee treaties. Now, this is an absurd policy. So absurd, in fact, that the ACLU is actually trying to sue the Trump administration for it. Now, why is this crazy? Well, first it stems off from, it doesn't matter where you're from. When you're seeking asylum, it does not matter where you're from, it just matters why you came. That is the only concern they should have when you are seeking asylum. And here's why this is a bad idea. First being, there is this whole wait time. So if you try to seek asylum and then you're denied, you have to wait, I think it's like 5 years before you can actually claim asylum again. Kind of a long time, but okay, there is some wait limit, whatever. So that means if you come to the U.S. and you're denied asylum, they kick you out. Okay, well, now you're in Mexico. So you try seeking asylum in Mexico. And they deny you. Okay, hey, that's great. All I have to do was seek asylum and get denied. Now I can go back to the U.S. So you march right back up to that border and you try to claim asylum again. And they say, no, sorry, you've already tried. You gotta wait 5 years before you can come back. So now you're fucked. You can't go anywhere else. Not only that, but when people seek asylum from another country, like El Salvador, or Guatemala, or Honduras, chances are they're not going to know every aspect of the U.S. legal system, including its asylum claims, and how they work. So, you have to claim asylum through an airport or the border, just some port of entry. They're not going to know that. They just know, hey, I am in danger. I've heard the U.S. is great, so let me just get in there any way I can because my life is in danger. So that's what they do. And then they just try to integrate into society the best they can. So, whenever we find out, have they committed any violent crimes? The answer is no. Okay, let's put them on a path to citizenship. That's someone with a social security number. So now they have now they have an ID. So now they can get a job legally, a tax-paying job, by the way. So now that means that's more tax money, which means more money to go here or there or anywhere. So now we can pay for more stuff. We can get better roads. We can, if I'm not for this, but if that's what happens, you can upgrade the military. What would be great was the universal health care. That'd be great. We have, 11 million undocumented immigrants? So let's say 1 million of those have committed violent crimes. That's what? So that's 10 million. And then, so let's say they all get a minimum wage job, $7.25. They all work 40 hours a week. That's going to be $290. Taxes on that, $5,800. Wait, no, sorry, 58. I forgot to put the tax on in there. 58. So $58 times 10 million, so $580 million. That is a lot of money. $580 million added to the tax budget. I think that sounds great. Not everyone agrees with me, but okay, that's fair. So now the question you're saying is, well, if they've been denied here and they've been denied in Mexico, why don't they try Canada? I mean, I've heard Canada's a great place. They've got some pretty great stuff, like universal health care. Weed is legal. Sounds like a great place. I mean, the stereotype for Canadians, everyone's nice. Don't you guys want to build a wall to stop illegal immigrants from entering the country? Put two and two together. You'll find out why that doesn't make any sense. Need I say more? So, what's the solution here? What can we do? Well, first off, we don't allow this to happen. Second off, we make the pathway to citizenship a lot easier. Another thing we could do is, like I said, if they haven't committed any violent crimes, if the only offense they've committed is entering the country illegally, and they're from a country like El Salvador, a country that's essentially run by a gang, well, you know what? Their life's in danger there. We are, after all, founded by immigrants. We do also have the Statue of Liberty, which says something along the lines of, bring me your poor, bring me your tired, your hurdled masses. We seem to be a pretty pro-immigration country. So, how come now we're all of a sudden saying, yeah, no immigrants? None. I think we definitely have a problem when it comes to immigration. Definitely, we do. We have too many undocumented immigrants. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying we definitely need an easier pathway to citizenship for these undocumented immigrants. We don't need to be shipping off people to third world countries whose only offense they've committed is entering the country illegally. I mean, what else can you do? There are literally cases of people walking up to the border, trying to claim asylum, and then Border Patrol will physically block them, will threaten them, will do anything they can to get them away because they don't feel like dealing with it. They are legally obligated, and they have a right to request a claim for asylum. And they're being turned away. So, what else can they do besides, find another way in? And they get in, they try to claim asylum, become a citizen, more tax money. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know.